We need Greenland for national security very badly. And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
United States President Donald Trump wants Greenland at any cost. Just that, the costs have escalated. Europe has now shown some spine, finally. After French President Emmanuel Macron took his position, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer followed the suit. A weak-sounding statement, but considerable jump from earlier feeble stance.
They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language to
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while you have to use a certain word.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No?
But
He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
All these developments after 8 European nations sent in a military reconnaissance mission to nuke Greenland. Trump responded with his tariff sledgehammer. 10% now, going up to 25% by June. With just 50 soldiers in the European mission, it's only signaling from both sides. From Europe to America, the patience might be wearing thin, and that they would not mind a show of platoon-sized resistance to a domineering DC.
Konflikt czy próba zaboru terytorium państwa, które jest członkiem NATO, przez drugie państwo, które jest członkiem NATO, i to są w dodatku Stany Zjednoczone, no to byłby koniec świata, takiego świata, jaki znamy i który nam przez dziesięciolecia gwarantował bezpieczeństwo.
From Trump to Europe, a warning shot: push should not come to a shove, or else.
Well, to your first question on Greenland, I don't think troops in Europe impact the president's decision-making process, nor does it impact his goal of the acquisition of Greenland at all.
Macron has hit back.
Face à la révolution en cours en Iran, aux attaques odieuses contre leurs propres citoyens décidées par le régime, la France a appelé à la cessation de ces attaques terribles, au respect de la population civile, mais aussi à ne pas escalader dans la région. Et c'est pourquoi nous avons renforcé notre posture. Nous avons décidé de la protection évidemment de nos ressortissants et de nos militaires, mais nous avons décidé aussi d'être aux côtés de tous nos partenaires pour contribuer à la stabilité et la sécurité de toute la région dans ce contexte.
Meanwhile, back home, the Democrats are pushing back against Trump.
There are no pressing security threats to Greenland, but we share real concern about Arctic security going forward. As the climate changes, as the sea ice retreats, as shipping routes change, there are legitimate reasons for us to explore ways to invest better in Arctic security broadly, both in the American Arctic and in our NATO partners and allies.
While the Europe is rallying behind the Danes, their armed forces now too are sending a clear message amidst the recon mission.
I will not go into the political part, but I will say that I would never expect a NATO country attack another NATO country. For us, for me, it's not about signaling. It is actually about training military units, working together with allies. But you are right that it is Danish law that a Danish soldier, if attacked, has the obligation to fight back.
The European reconnaissance mission came a day after talks in DC began between foreign ministers of Denmark, Greenland, and Secretary of State Rubio failed to find a way out.
that what is clear here is that to a lot of Europeans, this is not idealism. It is a kind of a strict reality that you have to defend territorial integrity if you are to survive in the long run. And I think that is what happens here. This is the last post.
Would Europe escalate? Would America ignore and move in military instead?
I don't believe at this point where we're at with the situation in Greenland that there's going to be a military action. I think what Trump likes to do is he likes to throw out the total scope of what the United States is capable of doing, and then brokering a deal down from there to where it'll be something that everyone can agree upon. But I do believe that he threw the military option on the table to let Europe know that the United States is capable of going to that level.
Would that mean end of NATO and the Transatlantic alliance?
No, I don't think really, though it's a very difficult situation. It's a very complex and, a situation with far-reaching effects. But I don't think that is anywhere indicative of destruction of NATO and the alliance between the Americans and Europeans, right? The European security is, I think, a larger concern for Europe today than Greenland. Let's understand the ground situation. Europeans are more bothered about the Russian-Ukraine war, about what has been today, almost injected into the public of Europe that Russia is the aggressor and Ukraine is not the end and Poland could be the next and Germany could be. I mean, that psyche which has been built, that narrative which has been built in Europe. So Europe is more today concerned about peace from its east, from the east, rather than getting involved into any major thing like Greenland or the NATO alliance breaking there.
With protests intensifying on the streets of Copenhagen, this coming week is critical for Greenland.
Well, we're going to see. NATO has been dealing with us on Greenland. We need Greenland for national security very badly. If we don't have it, we have a big hole in national security, especially when it comes to what we're doing in terms of the Golden Dome and all of the other things.